Good morning. It's Tuesday, April 7th, and I absolutely love today's topic. I know I say that probably every day, but I'm okay with that. And today we're going to be talking about preconceptions and biases. And the question is, where are my opinions part of the problem? So when Marcus was emperor, he wrote to himself, if anyone can refute me, show me where I'm making a mistake and looking at things from the wrong perspective, I'll gladly change. It's the truth I'm after, and the truth never harmed anyone. What harms us is to persist in self-deceit and ignorance. And I think that our preconceptions and our biases easily become liabilities that can lead us down paths that are lengthy, misguided, inefficient, incomplete, at odds with other parts of our lives. And most of us are comfort creatures of habit. We establish our way of thinking, perhaps because of our initial impressions or the results, and then we never return to reevaluate it. And then this is further compounded by the fact that most people are of a fixed mindset, at least initially. In that fixed mindset, you stick with what you know to keep up your confidences, as opposed to the growth mindset where you keep up your confidence by always pushing into the unfamiliar to make sure that you're always learning. But the good news is that the mindset itself is not fixed. You can change your mindset just by thinking it through. So for the first 36 plus years of my life, I was absolutely heavily entrenched in that fixed mindset camp. But I think the most dangerous thing about that is that most people like me don't even know or even admit that that's where they reside. And this gets even further complicated because one set of preconceptions becomes layered upon another until the truth is totally obscured. So by the time that I was 36, I think I had established a tangled web of incongruent false confidences that provided poor guidance and muddled foundational principles. And that's a really precarious place to be. And unfortunately, it was becoming somewhat self-destructive. But anybody who knows me and has observed over the last couple of years that I began to challenge all of those beliefs and to tear down those preconceptions and to rebuild myself mentally and physically. And I really kind of want to summarize that through 4 steps. I guess 5 if you say. The first is that you have to start with a blank slate. And then you, as Marcus says, learn to ask of all actions, why are they doing that? Starting with your own, all right? So challenge everything, even the things that are apparently working. Be brutally honest with yourself. Expect the same from others, even when it hurts. Seek out the opposing perspective and engage. Understand the why. So anybody who's coached me knows that I don't respond well when I'm told what to do and we just leave it at that. I have to understand the why. I'm looking at you, Coach Black and Coach Hibbs. Once we get to the explain to me why, then I can be bought into the system. But I think that's really important for anybody to dig deep. The second is to acknowledge that ego is the enemy. You have to tear that down. And as Epictetus reminds us, it is impossible to learn what we think we already know. So it requires humility and courage to admit your weaknesses and admit that you need help. You have to find the right resources to provide you with the perspective that you can trust, even if you don't always agree with it. So think about all the relationships that you have and the ones that you want and what it is that you can articulate, or what you can articulate that you can learn from that person. So whether that's on a board of directors, whether that's a personal board, whether that's something informal like a podcast or an author that you're reading, I took the time to sit down with all of these relationships and note what it is that I felt that I could learn from that particular person, what it is that I felt they could be my mentor and could help challenge my beliefs and help me reestablish my own foundational principles. But the next step is to trust but verify. Go out and try new things that you're learning. Observe cause and effect, but have patience. Be willing to give up on things that don't work. Embrace those that do. If you know me, you know that I'm always tinkering with something. I'm always working on sort of some element of that total human optimization. And some of the things that I try were game changers. Others didn't have much effect, and some were total flops. But I learned from those flops, and I incorporated those game changers into my behavior and my beliefs. So to summarize, going back to the prompt, to ensure that our opinions are not part of the problem, it's important to learn to ask why, to tear down the ego and recruit the right resources, to trust but verify, but finally, continually reassess and refresh your own perspectives. And that's how we continue this cycle of continual self-improvement. Anyways, hope you find that useful. Have a great day.